Pleasant morning, my dear children. Before we get into the lesson, let me ask a question. What is learning? Learning is the process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behaviors, skills, values, attitudes, and preferences. Learning helps to make the world a better place. It keeps our mind sharp, helps maintain memory, increases self-confidence, gives us a new interest to enjoy, etc. Especially, you children should learn to get into the habit of continuous learning in your life. Now, let's move on to the lesson. Today, I am gonna teach Term 3, Unit 1, Prose, 5 Detectives. This lesson focuses on the importance of intelligence. In this lesson, 5 Detectives, we learn how the 5 children used their intelligence to solve a mystery. So here is my little Pictionary collection, which is going to help you to understand the lesson better. See the first picture. Waxwork, a life-size dummy made of wax. Magician, a person who performs magic tricks. Disguise, to make a person look different to hide their identity. Chit, a short note on a piece of paper. You can see the picture here. Statue, a human-made figure of a person or animal that is life-size or larger. Before we get into the lesson, let me show you the book bag glossary. Admirable, praiseworthy. Mystery, kept secret. Pestering, irritating. Overheard, to hear without the speaker's knowledge. Solve, to find the answer. Sniffed, to smell by short inhalations. Furious, intensely angry. So here is a prose, 5 detectives. What is the meaning of the word detective? Let me tell you. It means a person, especially a police officer, who tries to solve crimes, who tries to solve a mystery. Detective, the meaning is investigator. So, main characters of the lesson: Arul, Amuda, Srijit, Jessie, and Fatima. 5D. Pablo, Srijit's detective dog. Mr. Velayudham, inspector of police. Jessie's father, and an old man. Okay, let me read the lesson. It was a sunny afternoon. After a long time in Ooty, Arul and Amuda were sitting on their balcony. The last 3 vacations were very exciting for them, as they were involved in solving 3 mysterious cases in their city. They missed their friends Srijit, Jessie, and Fatima. They called themselves the 5 detectives or 5D. They were famous in Ooty for their courage and skill. The police appreciated 5D for their admirable acts. Amuda and Arul missed Pablo. Pablo was Srijit's dog. He played an important role in solving the mysteries. Detective, meaning is investigator. Vacation, holiday. Exciting, inspiring. Mysterious, strange or curious. Courage, bravery. appreciated, cherish. Okay, let me explain. It was a sunny afternoon after a long time in Ooty. Why do they mention this? Because we all know sunlight and sunny day is very rare in Ooty. That is why they refer that it was a sunny afternoon. I already told you the main characters of the story. They are Arul, Amuda, Srijit, Jessie and Fatima. In that, Arul and Amuda may belong to the same family. They were sitting and talking on their balcony. Usually, during the school holidays, what you people will do? You will play together with your friends. Is it no, children? That is how Arul, Amuda and their friends Srijit, Jessie and Fatima also spent their vacation very happily and at the same time very productively. They called themselves as 5D or 5 detectives. They, unlike other children, were very famous in the town for their bravery and heroistic deeds. Not only among the people of the village, but also the police have understood a lot of heroic deeds that amazed them. Arul and Amuda was not only thought of their friends but also of Srijit's dog Pablo. Pablo, unlike an ordinary dog, played a key role in discovering mysteries in their every heroic deed. Move on to the next slide. After a week, Srijit, Jessie, Fatima and Pablo came to Amuda and Arul's house. Pablo was jumping with joy and continuously wagging his tail. Wagging meaning is shaking. Amuda: I am so happy to see you all. Arul: now we can all head to solve a mystery. It will make our vacation interesting. Srijit: mystery? Did something happen in the town while I was gone? Arul: no, Shri, nothing at all. Arul and Amuda's memories about their friends came true because their friends came to their house for the summer vacation too. Arul and Amuda were very happy with the arrival of their friends. Srijit's dog Pablo also came along with them. Pablo wagged his tail continuously in delight at seeing Arul and Amuda. The 5 friends were at the peak of happiness when they got together. Arul was very clear in his view and he wanted to make the vacation interesting by doing heroic deeds and solving mysteries as before. This urged Srijit to ask that why, if anything had gone wrong while I was out of town. See the next one. Amuda urged that they all go to the town's fair. She told them about different games, magicians, and most importantly, the waxworks, a studio with many wax figures inside. After a lot of pestering, everyone agreed to go. On their way back, they saw Inspector Velayudham on his bike. He was the inspector of the area. Inspector Velayudham has been very busy these days, said Amuda. This made the group curious about what was happening in their city that they had no clue of. Just underline the meaning: urged, recommend, strongly. Curious, eager to know. I'll give you the explanation. In the meantime, Amuda wanted to take everyone to the town fair. So she forced everyone to come to the town's fair. And she told to everyone that if they go to town fair, there will be a lot of entertainment features. More importantly, she mentioned the place where wax statues are made. After hearing this, Amuda's friends agreed to her wish and went to the town's fair. On the way, they also met the town's police inspector, Velayudham. Amuda told to her friends that Inspector Velayudham was very busy these days. Such a conversation of Amuda aroused the interest of her friends, and they were very curious to know what was happening in their city. But they got no clue about it. This wax museum holds an important place in the story. Isn't that a story full of twists and turns to think about, children? Let's move on the next slide. Jessie, it's Monday. Jessie overheard her father talking on the phone about a robbery that was expected to take place in the museum. Jessie rushed to see her friends in the morning and told them what she heard. Srijit: "Oh, now I know what Inspector Velayudham is up to." Jessie: "Let us solve this case before he does." Srijit: "I feel he will find more clues if we are near the city area. We will also be able to observe more things. I will disguise myself as that old man we saw on the street." One thing we can clearly see from the story. What is it, children? These children are not the ones who seize the problem and run away. Rather, they are the children who finds the solution to the problems. Did you understand, children? What happened here? Yes, Jessie overheard her father's telephonic conversation about the robbery that was expected to take place in the museum. We have already seen what kind of characters Jessie and her friends are. What would Jessie have done when she got such a clue? Yes, she shared this clue with her friends as we expected. After knowing such a clue, they all understood the fact that why Inspector Velayudham had been so invisible for so many days. They then prepared to find a solution to the problem. They also discussed and made a plan to execute for it. Accordingly, Srijit disguised himself as an old man and was sitting in the park next to the museum road where the theft was expected to take place. Here you should think and ask one thing. Why Srijit should pretend to act as an old man? Let me answer to this question. When the 5D friends were thinking about this incident, they went to visit the place where the theft was to take place and to find any clues. Then they happened to see an old man used to go walking regularly that side. So this made Srijit to disguise as an old man so that he would get some clues about the robbery. Is it clear now, children? Yes. Read the next part. Everyone agreed to it. Srijit dressed as the old man. Srijit sat on the old man's bench, coughed and sniffed like him. No one could recognize Srijit. Soon a man on a cycle came and sat next to the old man. He said, "Where have you been since yesterday? Take this." The man handed over Srijit a packet of chocolate and went away. Just see the picture showed here. You can understand very well. Srijit's plan was accepted by all the 5D group and they executed their plan. Srijit disguised himself. You can see here. Srijit disguised himself and he started to act like an old man. He sat on the bench and sniffed like an old man. Then suddenly a man who came that way went near to Srijit, who was in disguise. and asked where he could not see you yesterday. Srijit was silent. The man immediately handed over the bag of chocolates he had brought to Srijit and left the place. Let's see what is going to happen next. Srijit took the chocolate and kept it in his pocket. He saw the real old man coming in his direction from the other side. He also saw Inspector Velayudham rushing out of a shop towards him. Fatima and Jessie were watching all this from afar. They got worried and rushed with Pablo towards the inspector. Pablo started barking and jumping on the inspector. The inspector was annoyed with the dog. Srijit saw it as a chance to run from there. He hid in a bush nearby. Inspector Velayudham ran towards the old man and caught him. Then he asked him to give the chocolate to him. The old man was puzzled. Inspector took the old man to the police station and locked him. Just mark the meanings. Rushing, moving urgently, annoyed, angry, puzzled, confused. Let me explain. Really, this lesson is a very lively and interesting storyline, isn't it, children? Srijit received the bag of chocolates from the man and kept in his pocket. This scene was not only watched by Srijit's friends but also by the Inspector Velayudham. He was silently watched from a distance as everything happened. Meanwhile, Srijit saw the real old man who was disguised as someone coming that way. Fatima and Jessie, who were watching this from a distance, came up with a plan. Accordingly, Fatima, Jessie and Pablo all acted as if they were taking refuge in the place of Inspector Velayudham. Pablo barked continuously and jumped on the inspector to distract his attention. Srijit took advantage of the situation and hid himself in a nearby bush. By then, the real old man was at the place where Srijit was. Inspector Velayudham immediately rushed to the spot and inquired the old man about the chocolate bag given by the stranger man. The old man was confused because he did not know anything about the incident and he remained quiet. The old man's silence triggered the anger of the inspector. At last, the old man was arrested by the inspector and imprisoned. Have you understood the story, children? Okay, hope you will. I have divided this lesson into two parts because this is such a huge lesson. We have seen so far the first part of the lesson. We will see the second part and the explanatory text in the next class. So with this, I am going to end up at today's class. See you soon. Until then, bye from Swati. Have a good day.